Scientists have discovered a new type of orca roaming the southernmost oceans, and they believe it may even be a new species. They're calling them Type D or sub-Antarctic killer whales. Their heads are a bit more rounded and less sleek than normal orcas, and their dorsal fins are more narrow and pointed. Scientists have taken a tissue sample from one of the animals and are now waiting for the results of DNA testing to prove that it is indeed a distinct species. Joining us now on the phone is one of the researchers on the team who discovered this new killer whale, Lisa Balance. She's a marine ecologist and a professor at Scripps Institute of Oceanography. So, Lisa, quite an incredible story here. Tell us about how your team began the search.
Yes, thank you. It is incredible and, frankly, a highlight of my professional career. We in the science world, have known about this distinct type of killer whale since 1955, when 17 individuals stranded on a New Zealand beach. All of them died. They were very bizarre looking, and 50 years went by before anyone saw them again. At that time, during that period, we assumed that they were just an aberrant form and stranded, and they all died. But fast forward to the early 2000s, a photograph of this same type showed up from a sighting that was made on the other side of the world. Subsequently, 6 more photographs from 6 more different locations were made, and we wrote a paper about that in 2010. We've been looking for this killer whale in the Southern Ocean for well over a decade. We were finally able to get some dedicated vessel time. We wanted to focus in the waters off of Cape Horn, south of Chile, based on recent reports of that type.
So what makes this new type of orca so different?
There are a number of distinct differences between this form and other types of killer whales in the world's oceans. The most striking difference is its appearance. Killer whales are black and white. A lot of that white comes from a white oval area around their eye. It's called an eye patch. In the type D killer whale, that white eye patch is tiny. It almost is non-existent in some individuals. They also have a head shape that's very different. It's very round and blunt at the forward end. Mm-hmm. And they have dorsal fins that are very different shapes from other killer whales, sort of pointy and narrow. Finally, it's a diminutive form of killer whale. So visually, they are strikingly different from other killer whales. Their habitat also seems to be quite different.
It is incredible. It gives you an idea of just how vast the ocean is, the fact that these whales have existed for so long without being found, essentially, or discovered. So do you think there are other types of killer whales out there yet to be discovered?
That's a great question. I think that it's unlikely that there is another ecotype of killer whale in the world's oceans that appears as different as this one. However, the way this seems to proceed scientifically is that we ecologists that go into the field first identify differences in different populations of killer whales. Mm-hmm. It usually takes a little while to get samples to be able to analyze the molecular genetics for relationships.
Well, it is a fascinating discovery, Lisa, and we will continue to track your research. Unfortunately, we're up against the clock, so we'll have to end our chat there, but it is fascinating, and we hope to check in with you as you continue your research. Thank you again for joining us.
Thanks for your interest.
That is Lisa Balance, a marine ecologist, joining us.